our crown and worship you. Oh, be lifted above all other gods. We lay our crowns and worship you. Oh, be lifted above all other gods. Jesus, we bow before your throne. We bow before the throne. Father, we give you all the glory. Oh, be lifted above all other gods. We lay our crowns and worship. Oh, glorious God, we praise your name. We lay our crown and worship you. Oh, glorious God, we praise your name. We lay, Father, we bow before the throne. Adios. For you. We lay our crowns. We lay our crowns. Jesus. Oh, be lifted above all other gods. We lay our crown and worship you. Oh, be lifted above all other gods. We lay our crowns and worship you. Oh, be lifted above all other gods. We lay our crowns and worship you. Oh, glorious God, we praise your name. We lay our crown and worship you. Oh, glorious God, we praise your name. We lay our crown and worship you. Oh, be lifted above all other gods. We lay our crowns and worship you. Oh, be lifted above. We lay our crowns. We lay our crowns. Jesus. We lay our crowns. We lay our crowns.
Right, good evening. Good evening.
Right, good evening.
And welcome to Impact Royal TV. You're welcome to Our Monday broadcast on Impact Real TV, something in it for you, something in it for you. And the theme for today is the Book of the Elders, Part 2. The Book of the Elders, Part 2. Last Monday, I went through Part 1 and I highlighted the 3 principles that I encourage you to work with. And the first of the principle was that number 1, that you need as a man or woman that never make decisions based on physical appearance alone. And that was 1. Then number 2, that whatever you do, you need to be wise, because not all wishes tends to come true. Therefore, you need to be wise in your decision. And that's what led to never make decisions based on physical appearance. And the third one was, all interwoven together, that you need to be wise, because you need to learn from Job's experience. And today, I want to look at number 4. But before I go on, in the Book of the Elders for today, I just want to quickly remind you, wherever you are in any part of the world, there's something in it for you. It's not just a religious thing. It's about leadership. It's about law. It's about business. It's more of the kind of educational background that I have, and as a way of giving something back to younger generation by provoking you in thinking. Because one of the things I have come to learn in life is that ideas brings wealth. Ideas. When you have a good idea and you apply some of these principles to those ideas, you cannot remain where you are. The situation needs to change. So in the Book of the Elders, Series 2, then I'll be highlighting 3 points again, Then point number 4, which happens to be point number 1 for today. Never worried about what you cannot change. Never worries about what you cannot change. You see, when you look at the scriptures, particularly, a particular version of the Bible, ASF, King James and older, it has been suggested that there are 365 fear in the Bible, which translated to mean that one way or the other, whether you like it or not, fear will come your way, worries too will come. But one of the things that I have come to understand is that as a believer, you tends to face, worries at all times, whereas the scriptures say we should cast our burden on Him. But something that you have to bear in mind, that it doesn't matter the kind of anointing you carry, it doesn't matter the kind of your intellectual prowess, it doesn't matter your social, political, economic background. When circumstances hit you unexpectedly, then you can get worried. So for me to come here and tell you that never worry is not the issue I'm trying to press forward. But what I'm pressing forward is that never worry about what you cannot change. Because if you think about it now, it will only damage you, it will only destroy you, it will only compound your issues. Because if you can fix it, why do you worry about it? So if you cannot fix it, why don't you just let it go? You see, there are things in life that you cannot change. If you worried about it from now till tomorrow, nothing is going to change. It will just remain the same story. And one of the things that may accelerate your illness is worry. Research has proven that worry can accelerate your ailment. It can provoke anger as well, because when you're worried about situation around you, you may likely misbehave. So my take is that worry is a waste of time, because if you cannot fix it, then why worry about it? One of the things I do is that you see, sometimes in life, the more you grow in life or in career, in status, the more the challenges and that you have, the more the challenges you have, the more things that you need to deal with. Somebody in my situation, I have so many things that I have to worry about, I have to think about. You think about ministry, you think about career, you think about family, brothers and sisters, young and old. Everyone all around you, they bring their burdens to you for you to, to deal with. So that in itself can weigh somebody down. But you have to find a way to respond to those issues, because if you cannot change it, then why worry yourself about it? You are not created to fix all problems. You are not created to solve all problems. It is impossible for you to solve all the people's problems. It is impossible. So if you carry it on your shoulder, then you're only going to kill yourself before your time, because research has shown clearly that it is a recipe, worry is a recipe for frustration. And if you want to move it further, from frustration can breed depression. So when you see quite a number of people going through depression, then you can straight the genesis back to worry. And they worried about what they cannot change. I do know that yes, the loss of loved ones, your job, your house, your business, your car, and all of a sudden, if you lose all that, just like what happens to Job from the biblical perspective, then you begin to wonder, then is it easy for anyone to tell Job not to be worried? Yes, I'm not technically saying to you should not be worried, but why must you worry to a point that will now begins to affect your well-being, your mental being, your physical being, your emotional being? So the moment you're getting to that, then depression is inevitable. See, I have learned in the course of my life that not to get myself worried about the past, because you cannot change it. If you cannot change your past, but you can determine your future. So there is no point in you worrying, getting yourself worried about your past, when you know that there are lessons for you to learn from the past, that you can build on that lessons to change your future. So you cannot change with things like, you cannot change your age, but you can determine that, look, in the remaining years of my life, that I am going to make an impact. It's not how long you live, it's how well you live, how you've been able to make an impact. Jesus only lived for 33 good years, but guess what? Thousands of years after, his work, his dedication, his stewardship is still affecting human race. Now, come back to telecommunications. One time, Steve Jobs woke up one day, and that's why I always say this to people, that it is ideas that gives you wealth. It is ideas that transform your life? What idea do you have? How do you translate your idea into vision? And how do you build on that vision? If you build on your vision, you make it to become your passion. So he woke up one day that he wants to have a kind of a mobile phone handset that you have at the palm of your hand, that then you'll be able to do so many things. I remember the first time I wrote my dissertation, my first bachelor's degree. You see, even in this part of the world, in this part of the world, the computer was not that much available. So we have to queue, we have to book ahead at the library for you to get access to the computer at the time. But you look at it this way, a lot of things you can just do on your phone without waiting or booking for you to have access to computer. So after his death, his estate, his trust is still making more money, still affecting people's life. So you cannot change your age, but you can determine your impact. You cannot change where you were born, but you can determine where you die. You cannot change, your upbringing, but you can transform it. You can transform it. As I've said, in the past, you cannot determine who is your father and your mother is going to be, but you can change the pattern. They may be poor, does not mean you have to be poor. They may be uneducated, does not mean that you have to be uneducated. So you need to wake up and realize that most of the things that you get worried about, they are basically things you cannot change. And if you cannot change it, why worry about it? A friend of mine, one of my childhood friends, said something very profound. He said, whatever happens to him, he will put it on his shoulder, then he will just shake it off. I know it may be a difficult thing to do, a difficult thing to say, that something on your shoulder, you shake it off. But technically what it means is this: if you cannot fix it, why do you worry about it? Then if you can fix it, what's your worry? Go ahead and fix it. So, as I've said, the number of things I have learned in my life and I try to put into practice, because I have come to realize in life that you cannot stop people from saying whatever they feel about you. Because those are some of the things that people worried about. What are they going to say? Whoa, what are friends going to say? What are family going to say? What are colleagues going to say? Look, you'll be living your life about what people are going to say. Even if you fail, they're still going to say. If you succeed, they're still going to say. So, isn't it better for you to draw a line and say, look, it doesn't matter what people say, what they're going to say. I am going to live my life in a way that will bring glory to God, glory to humanity, affecting people all around me, that by the time I'm gone, then a legacy will be left behind that people will say, truly, truly, I am who I am today because of this individual. So if you're worried about your next meal, if you're worried about your shelter, you're worried about your health, you're worried about your children, you're worried about your business, you're worried about your ministry. Look, everything all around us in the world is created to give you worries that you have reason to be worried about. Right now in the Western world, we're worried about the weather. The weather is too hot. Then at another time, when it becomes winter, then it becomes too cold. You're worried about all that. Look, everything in the world is there to give you worries. But if you worry about winter, you can't change it. If you worried about the summer that was just too hot, you can't change. You can only find solutions to it. That in winter time, you put on your central heating, so which will cost you more money. In summertime, if you are blessed, you put on your AC or you buy yourself a fan, you open your window, You just have to live with it because you can't change it. So, but you can determine the way you react. And that is the key issue. How do you react to those issues? How do you react to people's comments, criticism, condemnations? So how do you react to it? Do you react in a negative way, or you learn a lesson from that criticism and build your life? So that's number one for today. I want to share with you that what you do see in yourself is what you're going to work on, you want to build on, and what you're going to transform. Remember, the secret of failure is try to please everybody. The moment you try to please everybody, you will be a failure. The moment that all what you do is to please everybody, you will be a failure. So if you want to be a success, then you first need to understand that you need to build yourself before you can build others. You need to be established before you can establish others. You need to understand clearly that, look, people will have opinion. People will have issues. They will have comments. You can never, even God can never please humanity. Despite all the provision that the Bible talks about, that God made available, over 5,876 promises of God in the Bible, but you still continue to complain about what God has not done. So the list of worries is endless. So you just need to be wise and stop worrying yourself about what you cannot change. And that fourth point number 1, which happens to be point number 4 of the book of Elders. Then the second for today is simply never share your problem with people that cannot solve it. Never share your problem with anyone that cannot solve it. Because at the end of the day, when you leave the place, they're going to talk about you. They're going to talk about the problem you brought through them. You become the topic. And you see, some people, I think I did mention that in one of my books, are interested in your story. Not because they are ready to help, just because they just want to hear your story. They want to show, sometimes they show sympathy, but it's not sympathy that you need empathy. You do not need sympathy. What you need is empathy. But they just want to hear your story. Oh, I'm sorry, I feel sorry for you. But guess what? The moment you leave, that your best friend also have another best friend. That your gossip partner also have another gossip partner. And they're going to share your story. They're going to discuss about you. So you do not need a pity party on your behalf. That's not what you need. If they cannot solve your problem, why discuss it with them? I have learned that in the journey of my life. And if someone cannot solve your problem, then don't discuss it with them. Take your problem to God. Just take it to God. Go on your knee with prayer and discuss your problem with Him. And I'm a strong believer because I have experienced God's goodness. In difficult times, God has been so faithful. In challenging times, God has He always stepped in. And I believe that if God can do that for me, then He can do the same thing for you. So, but you just have to understand that, look, even the Bible talks about Jeremiah chapter 8, that blessed is he that put his trust in God. He said, cursed is he that put his trust in men. So, in going through what you're going through, sharing it with men, when I say men, I'm talking about human beings, it's of no use. Talk to God. Unless you know this individual can, help you to solve the problem. Solving the problem does not necessarily mean financial. It may be an advice. It may be wisdom based. It may be anything at all that can alleviate your trouble, your problem. So it is better to discuss, and that is the key. It is better to discuss with the one who has solution to your problems. The one who has solution to your problems is Jesus. And that's what Matthew chapter 11 verse 28 said. Say, come unto me, all you that are heavily laden. Another version said, all you that are seriously troubled. come unto me. In other words, come and share your trouble with me. If you like, tell the whole world your problem. If you like, tell your father, your mother, your uncle, your auntie, your husband, your wife, your children. There's a limit to how far they can take you. There's a limit to what they can do. There's a limit to solution they can make available, profess for you. So in other words, you just basically need to realize that the one who can solve all problems is Jesus. Because the person you're sharing with, you do not even know what they're going through. Because someone do not tell you about their problem does not mean that they're not going through, that you're the only one going through. And in the process of going through, that you discuss it with them and they do nothing, you become offended. And when you become offended, then things become so pathetic. Because you now carry the anger, you carry the pain, and anger, and in other words, can lead into another level of depression. So you just have to bear in mind that, look, this world is created for a number of things to happen. In the middle of that, it is for you to find solution to whatever you're going through. Then the last one for today is never allow your needs to overshadow your seed. I love that so much. I love that. Never allow your needs to overshadow your seed. You see, we all have needs in life. Even if you're rich, you still have needs. If you're poor, you still have needs. You see, but we desire to see it become reality. And in that process, you need to take steps. So what step are you taking in making it to become a reality? Positive steps or negative steps? Well, you have to determine. But one thing you need to bear in mind, for every action, there's a reaction. For every reaction, there's an action. If you take a positive step, all well and good. But if you take a negative step, the consequence of negativity, you have to live with it. You have to live with it. So, as I've said, that in our lives, we all have needs. We all have needs. Whether young or old, whether big or small, whether white or black, whether rich or poor, whether spiritual or not spiritual, we all have needs. But there will always be needs, but there's also a way that you need to cultivate in being able to meet your needs. I do know for sure that human needs are insatiable, but wisdom indicates that worrying about our needs can never solve all our needs. Worries about our needs can never solve all our needs. Being troubled about our needs can never solve all our needs. So you just have to bear in mind that to solve your needs, to make provision for your needs require wisdom. And wisdom indicates clearly that you take your trouble to God and you take it to man, whoever that have the potential of being able to solve or provide solutions to whatever you're going through. And that comes in a way that a seed. What seed are you sowing? Do you sow seed of friendship, companionship, fellowship, love, or you sow the seed of hatred? The Bible says in Galatians chapter 6 verse 7 and 8 that whatever a man sow, he will surely harvest. What seed are you sowing? What are you doing for fellow humanity to make their life better? You see, I remember some years back, I needed this person to do something for me, but it was about church thing that to do something at the church, and he said he was going to charge £1,200. And I remember very well. To play keyboard, they was going to charge £1,200 every month. I said, first to play keyboard, okay. And I decided that I do not have £1,200 to give you, so we'll let him go. couple of months after, so he now needed my help to solve his immigration papers. So when he came to me and I said, well, no problem. So I can do it for you, but the thing is you have to pay. Number one, for me to use my letter either to write a letter to the Home Office to support you with all documents and represent you, then you have to pay. So, and then you have to pay me £2,300 to do that for you. See, this is something that he would have, gotten for free. But because he was not ready to sow a seed, and he now wants to harvest. So, you need to be very careful that everything at times is not about money. It's not about what you get right now. Sometimes you need to sow a little seed bit by bit for your future. When the time of harvest will come, you will be amazed about what you will get. Imagine if he had done that, we offered him 800, he rejected, he said he want 1,200. He now needed immigration papers. He now needed my support to resolve his paper. And I said, look, it cost me money to train as a lawyer. It cost me money. My documents, it costs money. So you too, you have to pay for it because I know the way it works. To cut the long story short, eventually he was deported. So I have satisfaction in my heart that, look, not that I rejoice about his trouble, about his deportation. No, but the thing is, such people are ingrate. If you cannot do anything for anyone, but you expect others to do for you, then you know that such people, if you give them your head, if you give them all your life, they will never appreciate. So, in life, always bear in mind that you can never be an island. So you need to understand that there are times that you need to go out of your way to do things for other people. In doing for other people, they may sometimes they may take you for granted. They may think you're stupid or you're a fool. I do get that. That has happened to me many times. But when you weigh that and also weigh the other positive aspect of it, and you compare the two together, then you will know that, look, it is good to invest in other people's life because in return, you will harvest. So I want to conclude today by saying this to someone. Wherever you are in any part of the world, that bear in mind that wisdom's demand that if what you have in your hand that you cannot give, you cannot sow, you cannot support others, then there cannot be harvest for you. Because what you have, you need to sow it for harvest to come. And many people are using their needs as an excuse not to be a blessing to other people, not to sow into other people's life. I'm not saying that you should be erratic in your sowing. I'm not saying you should be stupid and you be doing things foolishly, because many people that are in serious financial problems, it's got to do with their decision making. They don't know how to say no, when to say no. So if you get yourself into that kind of a situation, don't lose hope, don't give up, because God can still make a way for you. So God can still turn things around for you. I have done business in the past that didn't bring any dividends. I have loaned different people money. You see, when I had COVID, during the COVID crisis, that I thought I was going to die, then I quickly start to put things in perspective, that in case if I pass away, so that people around me, then my daughter will know what to do. So I listed people that owe me money that I lend money to. And I sent the list to my daughter. And then she called me and said that. I said yes. Because she happens to know 1 or 2 or 3 people on those lists that to her, they are very wealthy. Wealthy in the sense that they're doing very well, they had money and all that. If such people could borrow money from you, then she was shocked. And I said, look, the reason why I give you this list is this. I just want you to tell them that you know that they owe your dad, but they do not have to pay. If they do pay, fine. If they do not pay, don't worry. But I just want you to know. So you also to let them know that you know. So you leave them with their conscience. So you see, sometimes, I guess what? Most of those people do not pay the money back. They do not. But I'm a kind of a person that you can only slap me once. I will not give you the opportunity for you to slap me again. You will not get that chance to slap me. You can only get it once. So wisdom is profitable. In whatever you do, apply wisdom. Because I have come to understand, and I also want to share this with you, that only a fool that heed their seed. Don't heed your seed. Plant it now and wait for the harvest. This is what I have come to share with you today. And I also want to encourage you. I'll quickly put this on the screen for you to see. I am going to be involved in a discussion. It's more of academic discussion, theological discussion. And the theme of that is that can the 21st century church survive the attack? Can the 21st century church survive the attack? So in that discussion, I'm going to be having this prolific preacher and writer, evangelist Akin Akinleye, Pastor Michael Fashogbo, and together with myself, so we're going to discuss this particular topic that is a bit affecting the church, the 21st century church today. You cannot be a Christian and be so comfortable with what is going on in the church universal. So we need to discuss it, share some ideas, and see how best we can be a blessing to other people. So it's coming up this Saturday at 5:30 on Impact Royal TV. I will try as much as possible to broadcast it live on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram as well, and any other social network that the gentleman belongs to. So this is what I have come to share with you today from the book of the elders. So in other words, for quick recap, the book of the elders, basically number one of things that I share with you is that you need to wise up. That wishes remain wishes until it is acted upon. Don't just have it in your head that the wishes that I wish to do this, I wish to do that, I wish to do this. You just be wishing and wishing and wishing all your life. Get up and do something about it. To have good intention without acting on it is just useless. It's just nonsense. It's like you being in the dark and awakening to a girl. Are you expecting her to respond? How is she going to see you? So get up and act on your wishes. Then number two was never make decision based on physical appearance. Physical appearance can be deceptive. That's why you see people living, handsome men, beautiful ladies, they will not marry them, marry what you term to be ugly, because you're looking at the physical, but the beauty is inside. So never make decision based on physical appearance. It can be deceptive. So number three was be wise. Because if you see the way Job handled his own predicament, then you will know that it's important for one to have this wisdom. So number four, which then never worried about what you cannot change. Number five, never share your problem with people who cannot solve it. They will just talk about you. They will laugh at you. Then number six, never allow your seed to overshadow your need to overshadow your seed. So plant it at all times. There is always an harvest to come. This is what I have come to share with you on this platform. Today, there's something in need for you. I believe I've been a blessing to you. Thank you, Maria, my beautiful babe. God bless you for joining. Thank you, Rotimi. Thank you, everyone that is on social media and on Facebook. Thank you, those on YouTube. And thanks for those that are going to be, listening to this telecast at any given time. So this is something in it for you. If remember, something in it for you is not just a Christian thing. It's about you being able to pick something out of all these discussions. It is sometimes I talk about business, I talk about legal issues, talk about ministry, talk about career, talk about family, anything at all that can shape your thinking and your mental ability, and above all, the way you respond to issues and people around you. Until such a time I come your way again, have a wonderful evening. God bless you. Don't forget, share on your wall, subscribe on Impact Royal TV on YouTube or on Facebook. God bless you. Have a wonderful evening.